Robert, your little brother Winston just got accepted into med school.
Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, I just heard. Winston told me. I congratulated him.
Me, Winston, and your father are going out to a luxury sushi restaurant to celebrate the good news tonight. Obviously, you won't be joining us. All the reviews online said that this is the most luxurious restaurant in town, so it's clearly not appropriate for someone like you. You will, however, be footing the bill, so I expect you to make your way down to 5th Street the moment I message you to let you know we're done eating.
When you say the most luxurious restaurant in town, do you mean Sushi-licious Shenanigans, by any chance? You know, the place famous for being 3 times as expensive as most other luxury restaurants?
Of course. Unlike you, his moronic high school dropout big brother, Winston is intelligent and hard-working. He's by far mine and your father's favorite child, and we intend to reward him for his efforts.
You intend to reward him? On my dime? You've got some nerve. I thought you promised to stop doing this once I agreed to cover your debt repayments.
I don't see what that has to do with anything. But if you must insist on dragging it up, I think you should be grateful me and your father are granting you the privilege of repaying our debts. Think about it. Now you have a reason to drag your worthless backside out of bed in the morning and go to work. I won't be hearing another word of complaint out of you, boy. Do you hear me? If you know what's good for you, you'll keep your mouth shut and carry on working like a dog to support your beloved family.
I see. Hey, Big Pro, is now a good time? Winston? Why are you messaging me we're in the same house, you big doofus? I don't want Mom and Dad to hear what I'm about to say. Really? Sounds dramatic. Alright, well, fine by me, I guess. Listen, Robert, I'm thinking of giving up on becoming a doctor. Whoa, where in the holy frickin' Jesus balls did that come from? Did I eat magic mushrooms without anyone telling me or something? Why would you do that when you only have a year left before you graduate med school? You're almost done paying off Mom and Dad's debt, right? Yeah, actually I am. I should be done with the last repayment right around the time you graduate. But why? What does that have to do with anything? It's Mom and Dad. They told me what their plans are after I graduate and become a doctor. They said they both plan on quitting their jobs and having me provide for them for the rest of their lives. What the heck? And that's only what was actually said to me directly. When I left the room, I overheard them planning a bunch of expensive vacations and to buy tons of crazy expensive branded goods and accessories. House extensions, exotic labradoodles, vintage whiskeys, gold-plated toilet seat, a Ferrari. You name it, Robert. They're planning on buying it all with my money. I have no idea why they think they have an infallible right to my salary, but there you go. Jesus, bro, what am I even reading? They don't seem to have any idea that it'll still be an intern for at least a few years now that I've left med school, which means I'll be on $40K a year at best. This probably goes without saying, but I'll be making way less than you do, right? Yeah, I guess so. Mom and Dad love to harp on about how being a high school dropout makes me a failure. But it was thanks to that I was able to start working so early. I've been at my company for 15 years now. I'm in an executive position and get an extra allowance for all the qualifications I've acquired over the years. Plus, I have the extra money I make from the side hustle I started 7 years ago. Right? That's what I thought. Exactly. That's why I'm so astonished they managed to convince themselves I'm going to be rolling in cash the second I get out of med school. Robert, listen. I want to move out of this house. Wow, are you serious? Are you really surprised? You want to leave yourself, right? They've put you through your fair share of crap too, haven't they? Not least among it, forcing you to drop out of high school so you could pay off their gambling debts, and then having the nerve to give you crap for being a high school dropout? Yeah, I guess you're right. The only reason I accepted to take over the repayments is because Uncle Joe was the one who lent him the money, which means I never had any legal obligation to pay. That's not all. You cover my med school fees too, and I know that can't have come cheap. It's Only thanks to you I was able to get in without going into debt myself. You're the one I want to repay my debt of gratitude to, Robert, not Mom and Dad. To be honest with you, they make me sick. Being unemployed despite being fully capable of working would be bad enough on its own. But now they're demanding I provide for them for the rest of their lives? What am I, freaking walking ATM? I can't get out of this house a moment too soon. Winston, come with me, bro. What do you say? I know this might sound weird coming from me after I relied on your money so much, but you have a right to be free of our deranged parents too. To tell you the truth, I've been thinking about it for a while. Here's how the plan looks right now. I'm thinking of quitting my job at the insurance company and going freelance once I get done with Mom and Dad's debt repayments. To put it simply, I'm thinking of making my side hustle my main job and focusing solely on that. I see. I guess me graduating med school ties into that too, since you won't be covering my tuition fees anymore. Your outgoings are going to drop down in one full swoop, so you'll be able to make things work with just one job. I like it. Yep, you pretty much nailed it. When I'm a freelancer, I'll be able to go anywhere I like since I'll be working 100% remotely. Anywhere? Basically, what that means is that no matter which hospital you end up working in, no matter which state you end up moving to, it'll always be possible for me to be close by. Oh yeah, you're right. Obviously, from my perspective, I'd appreciate if you chose somewhere with decent internet. Gotcha, bro. We only have about a year left before this becomes a reality. Yeah, let's make the necessary preparations. Got it.
Excuse me, Robert. You have 1 week to get your things together and get out of this house.
What the hell? Where did that come from?
Your little brother's a rich doctor now, so we don't need your pathetic high school dropout salary anymore.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Do I have to spell it out, Dumbo? It means Winston will be looking after me and your dad from here on out, so you're no longer necessary. Get out of our lives and never come back.
Winston's gonna provide for you both as a medical intern? How the hell do you expect him to do that? That's not fair on my brother. He's about to enter the workforce, and with that, one of the toughest periods of his life will begin. You expect him to take care of you guys at home as well as the mountain of work responsibilities he's inevitably gonna end up with?
And what do you know about anything, you pitiful high school dropout? It might seem impossible to you because you earn breadcrumbs, but unlike you, Winston's actually going to have a respectable income. He's a doctor, you moron. I quit my job because with Winston's salary, I can get by without working.
Whoa. Say what now? You quit your job? No way. Did Dad quit too?
Of course he did. We recently got word that you got done paying off the last of our debts, so what with that and Winston finally becoming a doctor, we saw no need to continue. No matter how you look at it, there's zero need for either of us to work again for the rest of our lives. I take it your sulky tone means you understand, then? Fantastic. Now hurry up and start packing your things. Oh, one more thing. Me, Winston, and your father will all be going to the most luxurious sushi restaurant in town to celebrate him finally becoming a doctor. Make sure you come down to the restaurant to pay for our meals as soon as I message you, just like always, okay? Do I make myself clear?
Are you for real? You just kicked me out of the house and ordered me to get out of your lives forever. Why would I pay for your sushi? Are you insane?
Think of this as your final act of filial piety towards your parents who so very kindly raised you. It'll never make up for the monumental failure you became, but it's better than nothing. Make sure you have the money ready by tonight.
Do you mind if I say one last thing?
What is it?
Bye-bye. I'm taking Winston with me.
Huh?
Winston, you all ready? Yep, I'm already at the station like we agreed. Did Mom say anything to you about going out for sushi tonight? Sure, but I told her I can't go today because I have food poisoning. Wow, are they for real? They went to your congratulatory meal at the most expensive restaurant in town without you? No kidding. I'm not gonna complain though. The rotten personalities are giving us the perfect chance to make our escape. I never thought I'd say it, but just this one time, I'm grateful they're dicks. You're right. I'm so hyped, bro. I can't believe I finally get to escape their forced sushi nights. About that, my buddy from the old company knows a chef at that restaurant. Apparently, he said that he feels bad for you every time you go because they order the most expensive stuff on the menu for themselves, while you just sit there eating french fries all night. Were you holding back because you knew I was always the one paying? There's that, but there's also the fact I'm just not good with raw fish. I thought you knew. What can I say? I guess I really like their french fries. Oh, I see. Anyway, I'm about to head out on the next train. Sure thing. I'll follow you in like an hour, okay? Got it. See you at the next station. Roger that.
Robert! Are you there? Robert! What on earth did you just say to the chef at the sushi restaurant? He just told me you refused to pay because I said I never wanted to see you again.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Did you need some kind of explanation? I'm not sure which part is hard to understand. You pretty much just disowned me, so I'll be leaving the house now and moving a long, long way away. Accordingly, paying for your luxury sushi is going to be a little difficult this time around. Anyway, didn't I just tell you to pay for your own damn meals? How are you surprised by any of this?
No, I can't. I just can't. Do you have any idea how much the bill came to? $1,600. Your father and I don't have that kind of money.
Yep, $1,600 sounds about normal. That's more or less what I was paying every time.
Huh?
Isn't it strange? Your worthless, good-for-nothing high school dropout son was able to pay every time without issue. But you and Dad are struggling?
Oh my God. Were you really paying this much every time? I had no idea it was so expensive.
Yep. Look on the bright side. At least Winston not being with you today should bring the total down a little. This is actually on the lower end of what I paid.
This is the lower end? Robert, how on earth do you have that much money?
Answer me this. How long do you think it's been since I started working?
What?
I've been working nonstop ever since I dropped out of high school. I've had promotions, gained qualifications, undergone transfers, and had lots of other extra allowances added to my salary along the way. When Winston started med school, I started working a side job to help cover his tuition fees. You didn't think I was still making the same money as I was at the convenience store. You didn't think I was still making the same money as I was at the convenience store I worked at when I dropped out of high school, did you?
Huh?
Now, Winston's done with med school. I'm also done paying off yours and Dad's debt, which, by the way, I had no obligation to pay off whatsoever, but did anyway out of the kindness of my heart. I don't need to make anywhere near as much money as I used to now, which is why I decided to quit my job and focus solely on what used to be my side job as a freelancer.
What's your side job?
Not telling you. I don't need you showing up on my doorstep begging, thanks.
Well, what about the bill for this sushi?
Like I said, pay for it yourself.
But we don't have the money.
Bye. Yo, Robert, I'm on the train right now, but I keep getting those damn messages from Mom complaining about how you won't pay the sushi bill. My God, is she seriously still harping on about that? I just left her on red. Nice. There's no need to dignify her with a response. Still, I gotta admit, I feel kind of bad for the sushi joint. I think I'm gonna ring my buddy and tell him to pass on an apology later on. Now, don't sweat it. Apparently Uncle Joe plans on paying this time around. I wonder if he actually will. Don't forget he was the one who lent Mom and Dad all that money back then. I wouldn't be surprised if he never wanted to give him another cent after how long it took him to get his money back. I came clean with everything this morning and finally told him it was me paying him back all along. To be honest, I'd be amazed if he dug them out of another hole after finding out they'd been lying to him for years. Jeez, bro. You sure know how to time things. Nice. Pure coincidence, I swear. Sure, we can go with that if you like. Seriously though, I wonder how they're gonna support themselves without either of us around now. Neither of them have jobs. Mom was 19 when they got shotgun married after falling pregnant with you, right? They've got a way to go until they get their pensions. They have no choice. They're gonna have to find new jobs. No kidding. Anyway, my train will be arriving soon. Alright, I'm sat on the bench at the platform. Let's head out of the station together. Yeah, how cool is this? Two brothers about to embark on their new lives in the big wide world together? I feel like an anime character. Cut it out, you weeb. You're in the real world now. You're right, though. I'm sure we're gonna face tons of challenges from here on out, but there's nothing we can't overcome together. Heck yeah. When I asked Uncle Joe about what became of the sushi incident later on, he explained that by some miracle, it turned out that my dad had just enough money left in his savings account to cover it, so they were allowed to leave the restaurant without cops being called. My old work buddy heard from the chef that the two of them are now officially banned from entering the restaurant for the rest of their lives. Apparently, he almost seemed overwhelmed with joy at the fact he'd never have to tolerate them again. I asked for what happened to our parents after that. They totally forgot I was the one who'd been paying the rent and utilities, which meant that before long, their electricity, gas, and water ended up being totally shut off. Apparently, the landlord's currently in the process of filling out the paperwork to have them forcibly removed. That's not all either. Being totally out of cash and being too lazy to work, they went into debt again. And this time not with soft touch Uncle Joe, but with an underground loan shark who goes by the name of the Finger Snapper. Nobody heard from them after they got disowned by the entire family. Naturally, I have no intention of looking for them either.
Hey, Beth Ann. Is it true? Is it true you're getting remarried? I heard he was the up-and-coming hotshot son of the president of a major company who's set to take on his daddy's title of CEO one day. Are the rumors true? Hello, Arena. Sure, I guess he is technically going to be the CEO one day, but it's really not as glamorous as you make it sound. And the company's definitely not as major as you make it sound. But you will still be the CEO's wife, right? Right? I can't believe you lucked out this hard on your second marriage. I'm not gonna lie, babe, I am mega jealous. Go on, spill the beans. How did you seduce him? What's the secret to bagging yourself a high roller like that? I'm all ears. That's kind of a crass question, Arena. Would you mind not asking me stuff like that? If you must know, we met at work. We started out just as co-workers and, well, it just kind of developed from there. Oh, don't play dumb with me. You may have started out as co-workers, but you must have known he had prospects when you found out he was the president's son. You have your sights set on the title of CEO's wife, right? I didn't even know who his dad was until he proposed to me. You literally couldn't be any wider off the mark if you tried. I see. So, playing dumb was a part of your scheme right from the very start. I have to hand it to you, Beth Ann. You are more cunning than people give you credit for. I never had you down as such a schemer. You go, girl. You're wrong. It's not like that at all. Okay, dear. We can go with that if it makes you feel better. Anyway, I take it you'll be inviting me to the wedding, since we became such good friends after our boys met at kindergarten, right? Huh? The wedding? Of course! You'll be pulling out all the stops to make the wedding of a lifetime, I assume. I bet it'll be a ceremony so lavish, even royalty would feel jealous. He is the future CEO, after all. I mean, sure. Well, I guess we don't plan on making it super low budget or anything, but it's not like it's gonna be huge either. To tell you the truth, we're just planning on having a small ceremony with no one but friends and family, so we won't be inviting any of the moms from kindergarten, which, well, I'm sorry to say, means you won't be getting an invite. Wow, why such a tightwad? My fiancé has his own reasons for not wanting to go overboard. He's once divorced himself, and we both agreed that after all the pomp, ceremony, and, more importantly, stress of our first weddings, We're not really that bothered about going through the hassle again. Something smaller scale seemed best for the both of us. But Casey, the mom of one of the other boys in our boys' class, is going. I overheard her talking about it with some of the other moms in the courtyard outside the kindergarten, so don't even try and deny it. Why wouldn't you invite me when we're all part of the same kindergarten moms group? It's not fair of you to leave me out like this. I will not be ostracized. Casey's my sister-in-law. Her coming to the wedding has nothing to do with kindergarten. Huh? She's my little brother's wife. Surely you can see how that makes her family. I'm not leaving anyone out, I can assure you. Oh, really? She's your sister-in-law. Oh, well, my bad. I guess I kind of just assumed you already knew. Most of the other moms do. Really? I had no idea. I haven't invited any of the moms from kindergarten, and that's the truth. So I'm really sorry, but you won't be getting an invite. Fine, I'll give you some Tupperware. Huh? Tupperware? Be a darling and fill it with some of the luxury food from the buffet, won't you? If you do that, I'll forgive you. For the main course, I'll take meat. Make sure to fill it with plenty of mashed potatoes, too. I just love mashed potatoes. Whoa, what the... Are you kidding me? Come on, Arena, I can't do that. What? I'm kindly willing to compromise on not being invited to the wedding. And even this is too much for you? Taking food out of the wedding venue is banned for hygiene reasons. They explained the rules when we registered with them, and they were pretty clear about that one. Goodness gracious me. Would it really harm you to sneak some out? Everyone knows the rules at these places are nothing but formalities. No one expects you to actually follow them. And what exactly are you basing that on? Why would they have rules in place if they weren't supposed to be followed? No, Arena, this is ridiculous. I can't risk getting fined to get you a few slices of beef and some cold mashed potatoes. You know, I never had you down as being this kind of person, but it really is a shame what a tightwad you can be sometimes. That makes me a tightwad, does it? I can't believe it. You're a single mother fresh out of divorce court after your last husband found out you were cheating on him. What? But in spite of carrying around more baggage than a Boeing 737, you somehow managed to luck out and bag yourself a CEO. The least you could do is share some of your miraculous fortune with your friends, you penny-pinching tightwad. You won't have any friends left before long if you carry on like this. Arena, there's something you seem to be making a major misunderstanding about. Do you mind if I set the record straight? What? It wasn't me who cheated, it was my ex-husband. Huh? Hang on. Seriously? I see how it is. So this is why you've been looking down your nose at me this whole time and speaking to me like crap, isn't it? Based on a frickin' baseless misunderstanding? Wow. Oh, Oopsie, that reminds me we don't have any cucumbers left. Excuse me, dear, I'll have to rush to the supermarket at once. See ya! Wow, you're unreal. Beth Ann, I haven't seen you around kindergarten at all lately, which means other than already knowing who your fiancé is and what kind of venue the wedding's being held at, I haven't been able to get any extra information, which means I had no choice but to follow you. So this is where you're tying the knot, huh? I gotta hand it to you, babe. It's a beautiful place. So this is where you two were planning to get married at today, was it? Well, I'm sorry, darling, but it's time for you to give me back the groom. I hate to break this to you on such short notice, but I'll be the one marrying your fiancé today. Beth Ann, you poor thing. It looks like the groom didn't turn up and your wedding got canceled, huh? I'm so sorry, dear. What can I say? I'm just too drop-dead gorgeous. No man on this planet can resist me. Just like I told you before, it was time for you to give me back the groom. I know this might be difficult for you to accept, but I want you to behave like a mature, responsible adult by letting go of him and struggling on with your life as a lonely single mother without bothering us ever again. Do you think you can do that for me, sweetie pie? Huh?
Arena, what's going on? I've been super busy all morning. I only just saw your messages. What do you mean by give you back the groom? I don't understand. What are you talking about?
Aha! There you are. Why, hello, Beth Ann. You sure were slow to notice. There's no going back now. We just got done with our 5th round of steamy, passionate lovemaking. That man really is a stallion.
I seriously don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about.
I did expect you to ask some questions, and I suppose answering them is the least I can do for you, since I did kind of destroy your entire life today. The groom at your wedding today is my ex-boyfriend.
Huh? Your ex-boyfriend?
I just so happened to catch sight of you and my ex-boyfriend walking around town all loved up not long after I heard you were set to get remarried. I was so shocked my jaw almost hit the floor, so I decided to do a little digging. I found out that my ex-boyfriend's dad was making his preparations to retire from his position as CEO at their industrial waste disposal company, meaning he's next in line as president. I knew this was finally my chance to marry into money by becoming the wife of a CEO, and I wasn't prepared to waste it. Which is why I doubled my investigative efforts, and after a little more digging, I found out where you guys were planning on getting married today.
Wow. Are you serious? You went to all those lengths? That's not normal. I'm so disgusted right now, I can't even find the words to express it.
There's no use in getting all hysterical and panicking now, dear. Your wedding today already got canceled, right?
What are you talking about? No, it didn't.
Lies, lies. Come on, Beth Ann, you can't hide from reality any longer. Wake up and smell the coffee. We just got back together and went at it like rabbits in the hotel next door.
Excuse me?
We're still together now, of course.
Hang on a sec. You have a husband, don't you? You're not divorced, are you?
Don't be jealous just because I'm a hit with the boys and you're not, babe. It's so not attractive.
That's not what I mean. I mean, you're cheating on your husband. You have the nerve to accuse me of cheating while being completely wrong, and then you go off and have an affair of your own? What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, I've heard enough of your jealous prattling now. How about you put a lid on that whining foghorn mouth of yours and just be happy for me and your man instead? I get you must be incredibly salty at missing out on your long-awaited chance to bag yourself a rich, high-flying CEO and being guaranteed absolute financial security for the rest of your life. But that's your problem, sweetie, not mine. Just give up on him, okay?
Listen to me, Irina. Today's wedding went by without a hitch, and me and my husband are now officially married.
Huh?
We're about to head to the after party.
Wait a minute, what the?
Irina, who the hell are you cheating on your husband with?
You know, this is getting sad now. Why not just accept reality already? It'll be a lot less painful for you in the long run. Gotta go. My big hunky stallion is calling me back into bed. Time for round 6. Toodles!
Irina, wait!
Hello, Beth Ann, dear. It's been a while. Guess what? Me and your ex-fiancé are officially getting married. I haven't seen you at the kindergarten in months, so I had no choice but to go out of my way to bring you the good news on here. The divorce proceedings with my current husband are finally looking like they're about to go through. This pretty much already makes me the CEO's wife. I'm so happy.
Hello, Irina. Long time no speak. The reason you haven't been seeing me around the kindergarten is because I moved to another town to live with my husband after the wedding.
Huh?
Of course, my son came with me and now goes to a different kindergarten. So I'd say the chances of me and you ever seeing each other again are pretty slim.
What? You've got to be joking me. Don't say such crazy things, babe. I know for a fact you didn't get married. How could you when I stole the groom?
You totally ignored me back when I told you this before, so allow me to repeat myself. Mine and my husband's wedding went by without a hitch, and we're happily married now. Who the hell do you think you stole from me?
What do you mean, who? My ex-boyfriend, Jeremy, of course.
Huh? Jeremy?
Yes, Jeremy. We were high school sweethearts. We started dating in our second year after he came over and introduced himself to me in chemistry class.
Oh, him?
He's my brother-in-law. Huh? Your brother-in-law? Ah, I see. No way. So that's where he went on the day of the wedding. What? What are you talking about? I didn't marry Jeremy, I married Jamie, his identical twin brother. His identical twin brother? Yep. You mean you didn't know? I'm actually pretty impressed that you managed to be his girlfriend and not find out about him. I get that it was a long time ago, and you could be forgiven for mistaking them for one another since they're identical twins and all, but that doesn't justify cheating. What you're doing is just plain wrong, Irina. Whatever, that's irrelevant. Jeremy is at least the one who'll be inheriting their father's company, right? Right? No, that's Jamie. Oh my God. Jeremy was always the black sheep of the family. He got in with a bad crowd, started doing drugs, went to jail for armed robbery, and eventually got disowned by their parents. Drugs? Armed robbery? Disowned? We were slightly concerned he might try showing up at our wedding with all of their relatives being gathered there 5 months ago. When he didn't show up, we figured he didn't care enough to, and that we'd been worrying for nothing. But now it all makes sense. I see. So he did go to the venue, he just didn't end up gate crashing the whole thing because he ran into you outside by coincidence, huh? I guess he found himself powerless to resist the advances of his ex-girlfriend and agreed to go with you to the hotel. And that's why we never saw him? I guess we owe you a thank you. Oh, there's one more thing you should know. Jeremy's in mountains of debt. What? Something tells me things are about to get really rough for you. Oh my God! Bethann, help! What am I supposed to do? I don't have any money. My ex-husband is demanding a ridiculous amount of compensation from me, but I don't have any money. I thought Jeremy would be able to pay it all off because he was in line to become the president of his dad's company. Oh my God, I couldn't have been more wrong. I have no idea how he managed to come up with the cash on such short notice despite already being in crazy amounts of debt, but Jeremy immediately paid off his half of the compensation and refused to help me with mine. He said I have to come up with the money myself somehow. Oh, and he's not just in mountains of debt. It also turned out he's been seeing 3 other girls behind my back. He dumped me. To make matters worse, my ex-husband flat out refused to remarry me, and on top of charging me compensation, he won custody of our son, blocked my number, took my boy, and moved out of state. I can't get through to my parents, and besides, I doubt that they'd help me after all this time, even if I could. Please, Bethann, I have no one else to rely on. I am so alone. I can't believe I have to come up with all of this money on my own. Bethann, what am I supposed to do? I feel so lost. Hello? Bethann, are you there? Bethann, please respond. Stop leaving my messages on read. Ugh! I was a little confused when my phone suddenly started blowing up with notifications, but it turned out to be Irina's desperate pleas for help. I did feel a little sorry for her for about a millionth of a second, but I figured nothing good could possibly come of replying to her, so I let her carry on in the hopes she'd realize the futility of messaging me and give up. When the messages calmed down, I blocked her. As for what happened after that, apparently Jeremy, my disgraced brother-in-law, in his desperation to get a hold of the compensation money he owed Irina's ex-husband, borrowed some money from some very bad people. I can't say for sure, but something tells me that might be why he suddenly disappeared and no one's heard from him in months. As for Irina, she incessantly begged for money in the kindergarten moms group chat, but was promptly told in no uncertain terms to get lost and stick her whining where the sun don't shine. Last I heard, there have been multiple sightings of her going into the seedy, run-down hotel by the station with a bunch of different guys recently. I hope she hasn't gone into that line of work, but to be honest, since I'll never see or hear from her again, I'm just gonna forget about the whole thing and focus on enjoying my own life.
Trinity? Could you tell me the reason why you and your husband were in my room earlier? If you guys are planning to stay the night here, would you both please go to the guest bedroom? Oh, hi, Ari. I was surprised that you actually went outside the house for once, but I guess you're home now. This place is my home, so of course I'd be coming back. Now, could you and your husband please come here and get your things out of my room? What? What's wrong with us wanting to be in there? Do you really think it's a bad thing that my husband and I want to get a taste of what this room feels like in this penthouse here? Then go to the guest bedroom. It has the same view as my room, but the only difference is that it's not already occupied. We only just put our stuff down in there, though. You really think you can just come into this house and do as you please? I'm sorry, but my bed is off limits to anyone else, as it was specifically made to my needs. I get that it's comfy, but it's not meant for you. Oh? So you found out what I was really after in that room then? Well, if you chose my room over the guest bedroom, the only real difference is the bed, so that was pretty obvious to me. If you and your husband do anything in that bed while I'm out of the house, I am telling you right now that you'll both be charged $10,000 to get me a new one. $10,000 is what you paid for that? You really expect me to believe something like that? I hope you do, considering that's the price I had to pay. So come and get your things right now. The fact that everything always has to be about you is so annoying. Ari, you've really gone and done it this time. What did I do? You went and took some of my money out of my purse, right? Huh? I am not in that much of a need for money where I do something like that to my own sister. Yeah, sure. That's probably because you're always taking mom and dad's money like some thieving parasite. What did you say? What are you talking about? The other day, I was in your bedroom, right? Well, I had accidentally left my purse in there when you kicked my husband and I out. So when I went in there to grab it today, there should have been around $500 in it, but there was only $200. Huh? I don't know what happened to your money. Actually, I never even saw that your purse was left in my room these past couple of days. Did you really forget to take it out of my bedroom the other day? That's what I expected the criminal to start saying next. I already had a talk with both mom and dad, and they told me they never went into your room. So that would mean while my purse was forgotten about in your room, you found it and took $300 out of it before putting it back where I had forgotten it. This is so stupid. So you're not going to confess to any of it? Hey, Trinity, could all of this be happening because you want to start living in my penthouse? We are not talking about your penthouse right now. This is about that money which was in my purse. I want you to give me back that $300 you stole from me first before we talk about anything else here. I told you I don't know what happened to your money. Jeez, Ari, this is exactly the reason for why you're 40 years old and can't get married still, right? Now, what does that have to do with anything? You know what a lot of people call women like you. They call you a middle-aged woman still living in her nursery room. Huh? You don't work any kind of a job and you live off the money your parents make. A 40-year-old useless shut-in. I have a job, though. You have no idea how hard it is to make money in this world and probably still think it just grows on trees or something. And that's why you ended up stealing my money from my purse. I have told you 3 times now, I don't know anything about that purse. It's so upsetting that a woman in her 40s had to steal money from her little sister. For Christ's sake. So you have no interest in actually listening to anything I have to say, do you? I'm not going to think of some money-stealing criminal woman as my older sister anymore, so it's over between you and I. I'm cutting ties to you. From now on, my husband and I will be living in this penthouse. It kind of sucks that mom and dad are still going to be living here with us, but that will only last a couple more years before they both croak. And while they're still around, they'll make for 2 great housekeepers. So this is goodbye to you, Ari. Have fun on the streets now after you're kicked out of this place. I knew this is what you were wanting. I have to say, the fact that you've already lived close to half of your life and have still not gotten a taste of the real world is really disappointing. So hopefully, kicking you out of this penthouse once and for all helps you grow a little. Aren't you embarrassed to be 40 now and still not have any experience working for a company? And that's not even as bad as how ashamed you should be feeling for stealing $300 out of my purse. I'm not unemployed, and I was not the one that stole your money. But if this is how you want to play this game, then I'll play along with you. I'll be out of this place as soon as possible. Good. I will praise you on the fact that you came around to accepting your crimes pretty quickly there. I want you out of this penthouse in 1 hour, all right? Once again, I'm going to have to praise you for getting all your things together and moving out of this house in under an hour. Honestly, hearing praise from someone like you gives me the opposite feeling of being happy. I'm sure you're dying on the inside right now, right? That's right. That bet of yours, the $10,000 one. I'll be taking it now. So what you mean is you'll be paying me $10,000 to take it, right? What are you going on about? It wasn't even you that paid for the bet in the first place. It was Dad that got this thing for you. Excuse me? Really? Knowing about how you forced Dad to buy you this kind of an expensive bed, even though he was already paying for you to eat and sleep in this house, is really sly of you. And that pisses me off a little. I cannot believe that for the past 2 years, ever since you completely shut yourself into this place, you've done nothing but take advantage of others and make things all about yourself. You've received enough of everyone's money now, right? From now on, it's my turn to lay back and enjoy this fancy penthouse while Mom and Dad pay for my husband and I. Trinity, you really have no idea what you've gotten yourself into. Wait, it's more like you've just forgotten everything about what happened a few years ago. Trying to threaten me by saying some really vague and stupid things like that aren't going to scare me away. Don't you ever come back here, all right? Bye-bye. I'll hold you to that then. Ari! Hey! What is this about this place costing $16,000 a month to live in? This penthouse has already been paid off by Dad now, right? He just came up to me and said that if I want to start living here with my husband forever, then we'll need to start paying the rent. And what's this about you having been the one paying the rent this whole time? What's Dad even going on about right now? How could a jobless parasite like you have had the money to afford a place like this? I told you I'm not unemployed, Trinity. And if you'd like a little more detail into what I'm doing for work, I'm running a decently sized company as the CEO. Stop lying, you idiot! Mom already told me about how you never leave the house except for maybe a couple of times a month. That's because I'm normally working remotely from my bedroom. And the only reason I really have to leave the house at all is to go to the office building and hold meetings or talk with some customers in person. That's what Mom meant by that. Now, listen here. We are not living in the 20th century anymore. This is the 21st century now, where people can be employed yet not ever have to leave their home. And recently, due to a lot of world events, companies have been more open to letting their employees work from home instead of having to make any commute into the office. I don't need to listen to you talking about all that crap. And another thing, Trinity, has your mental health gotten any better? I ask that because it seems that you've only gotten worse when it comes to how you twist situations to your benefit, so that you never have to listen to anything others are saying to you. Did you stop going to see that therapist or something? Ugh, come on! I had thought this whole time that Dad bought this amazing penthouse with the money he got from his pension after he left his company and retired. So you forgot what happened with Dad then when he retired? Come back here already, Ari! I can't do that. Remember that I'm holding you to your word now? And that word was you saying for me to never return there again. But there's nobody here that can afford to pay this kind of rent. Well, then you should have actually been listening to me. Shut the hell up. Ari! Both Mom and Dad left the penthouse. They even took all the things that were left over in your room and left. There's not a single person in this house that can help pay for the rent now. My husband's been telling me over and over again that he's not earning enough to pay for this place. $16,000 is way too crazy for him and I to afford. Well, it's not like you'll be paying it anyway, considering that this is the last month you can live in that penthouse. After that, the lease will be finished and you both will have to leave. What? I made sure to end my lease there a while ago, and this was the last month before the landlord said he'd be placing the penthouse back on the market. If you want to continue living there, then you'll have to apply for the place and hope you're accepted. But of course, that'll mean you both have to start paying rent. What the hell are you talking about?
It's only been 2 years since you, Mom, and Dad moved into this place, right?
I know that. And from the very beginning, we only really were planning to stay there for around 2 years.
Why would you only want to stay for that short period of time?
Ugh, Trinity, because of you, Mom and Dad were no longer able to live in the house they had before. You know, the one you and I both grew up in? You seriously forgot literally everything that happened back then?
What?
You went and forced one of your former classmates to give up their husband and let you take him, right? And, well, that former classmate of yours, Grandpa, just so happened to be the technical owner of the land Mom and Dad's house was on. That man ended up getting very, very upset with you and the family and forced both Mom and Dad out of their house to have it torn down. And then he went and sold the land to someone else. But before he could do that, Dad was forced by him to pay for the house's demolition and for the land to be cleaned up, which cost Dad most of his retirement and all.
What the hell? How?
So that's what happened with you. You didn't forget about what happened, rather you just never cared about how it would later affect your parents.
But Ari...
I told Mom and Dad that I could step in and pay off the settlement that was being asked from them by your former classmate and her parents. But they told me it wasn't any of my responsibility. So I thought, at the very least, I would take Mom and Dad, who had lost their house at the fault of you, and I would put them in a penthouse with me, since the both of them had always wanted to live in one of the skyscrapers downtown. So after they had paid all their dues that you caused, they came to me and we moved into the penthouse together. Mom and Dad were in tears about what I was giving them, and I asked them how long they wanted to live there, and they both agreed on 2 years.
So that's why your lease is over with now?
Although I'm kind of surprised that Mom and Dad even allowed you to come over to my penthouse after all your cheating husband and thieving self had done to them.
Huh?
Are you aware why Mom and Dad were both living with me in that penthouse now? Because of all that you'd done. And if you'd like to know, the only reason you and your husband were actually allowed past security is because I allowed it.
What the? I had always thought that Mom and Dad were so happy to pay off that settlement for me, and then chose to buy that penthouse with Dad's retirement after I left. And that you forced your way into there after leaving the part-time job you had and making them pay for all your needs. I thought that if Mom and Dad could afford a penthouse like that and pay for a full-grown woman like you, then they really were rich, and that got me all excited.
Well, in reality, all of this was forced to happen because of what you'd done, and it was rough for all of us since. I really thought you already knew about everything that happened since you were the cause of all of it. I would really like to know what's inside that massive head of yours. It can't be considered a true brain or anything by any form of scientific method, can it? And this is why Mom and Dad were asking you to please go and see a therapist.
I never thought my own sister would say that about me. Hey, can you tell me where Mom and Dad moved to?
Not happening.
Why not?
Because they've both demanded that I never tell you.
Then where have you moved to, Ari? I'm sure that things are so lonely for a single 40-year-old woman, right? My husband and I will come live with you to help make you feel better.
What a freaking joke. I'm not even single anymore.
What? You got married without telling me?
That's right.
Then how about you let my husband and I live there and we can all be a happy double couple family?
I don't want you causing any trouble for my husband, so I'm not telling you where I live.
No way.
How about you stop acting like everything's about you and get real, Trinity? You have now not only been disowned by both Mom and Dad, but you've also lost the privilege of calling me your older sister.
What?
Honestly, something like this should have happened a lot sooner. I think right after you stole that man away from someone else and married him, while also causing both Mom and Dad to lose their home and money, we all should have cut ties to you. Maybe Mom and Dad both thought that after a few years you'd change, but considering the kind of freak you are mentally, there is no way you'd get any better. You didn't even bother going through more therapy, instead just making up a plan to have me kicked out of the house by saying I stole your money. Ugh, there's no hope for you anymore. You're not going to be living in that penthouse for much longer, and you won't be finding any of us.
Wait, the apartment my husband and I had been living in before, we ended the lease on it, so
Well, that penthouse's lease is also ending, so find somewhere new to live from now on. But there's nowhere left we can go! Make sure you're out of there before the end of this month. Goodbye forever.
Wait a second, Ari! We can figure something out for me.
Trinity and I are 10 years apart in age, which means she's 30 years old now, yet you probably would never be able to guess that by the way she acts so much like a selfish and spoiled brat. Ever since I can remember, she's always been wanting the things I had. But who could have seen her behavior getting any worse to the point she'd go after other people's things, like their husband? And it's a bit more than 2 years since that happened. These last 2 years, my parents and I have done our best to move past the horrible memories she implanted in us. But after thinking she'd be back a better person, she only proved to us that her mental health was not fixable. And because of that, she's no longer a part of this family. On the day her and her husband had to leave that penthouse, they got into this huge fight that led to their divorce. But the issue there was that my sister had no money at all, so she couldn't afford to even rent the most basic of places. Therefore, she had to contact my rather hard ass of an aunt, who came and picked her up to move out with them and work on their farm. Our aunt went ahead and made a deal with Trinity, which was that by working on her farm and paying my parents back every cent they lost because of her 2 years ago, she would not have to be abandoned by the rest of the larger family as well. Seems that her life of having no money at all is going to continue on for a couple more years now. Hey, Mom, will you be home late again today? Dad made stew for supper again.
Oh, he did?
You will eat some when you get home this time, right?
Listen, Emily, I need you to pass on a message to your dad. Tell him to quit doing things for me without asking. It's downright irritating.
Huh? What kind of attitude is that? Surely you mean, thanks for making my supper.
I get that he's bored and has nothing but free time on his hands after retiring, but I'd rather he didn't pretend like we were this happy, loved-up couple. If I'm honest, he's been nothing but a thorn in my side lately.
Pretend what?
Don't forget that I'm the one working long hours and putting food on the table for us all now. I am the breadwinner of this family. All your dad does is eat, sleep, and laze around the house, so he sure as heck isn't in any position to be complaining at me.
What are you talking about? Isn't the fact that Dad's able to live off his pension now proof that he worked hard all his life? What's wrong with him taking it easy after all he's done for us? I don't understand. You're a hard-working career woman, and I think that's something to be proud of, but at the same time, I think you should be more respectful with the way you speak about Dad.
Good grief, I don't need a lecture from the likes of you. So, you're taking his side in all of this, are you?
This isn't about taking sides, Mom. What are we, 6-year-olds? Both you and Dad have worked hard to provide for this family. It's not a competition. I fail to see the problem with Dad relaxing and living off his pension after working his ass off for over 50 years. In 10 more years, you'll be retiring and doing the same yourself, right? I'm not saying you should get on your knees and thank him for his efforts, but surely you could at least not be so disrespectful towards him.
Yeah, whatever. Is the sermon over now? If you'll excuse me, I'm surrounded by mountains of invoices and they aren't going to complete themselves. Unlike your father, some of us have work to do. I'll be eating in the office cafeteria tonight, so I won't be needing your dad's crummy stew.
Wow, I see how it is. You didn't take in a single word of what I just said, did you? And are you seriously insulting his stew now, too?
Ugh. You know, Mom, you're seriously starting to rile me up. I suggest you reevaluate the way you talk about my dad, and soon.
Hey, Emily, my sweet, delicious honey pie. Is now a good time? There's something I need to check with you.
Good morning, Chester, my rugged love muffin. It's not like you to message me this early. What's up?
Well, did your mom sleep away from the house last night by any chance? Or was she at home with you and your dad?
My mom? Apparently there was some trouble at the office that made her miss the last train, and she couldn't get a hold of a taxi without waiting over an hour. So she decided to sleep at a hotel near her company. She should be going straight to work from the hotel today.
I see. Is that what she told you?
Yes.
This kind of thing has become pretty common ever since she got that promotion. To be honest, if anything, it's more unusual for her to be at home these days. She's the manager of a new department, so apparently she's constantly burdened with huge amounts of responsibility, and overtime has practically become part of her regular working hours.
I see.
What is it? Do you know something about my mom?
Well, it's just that... To be honest, I was hesitating about whether to mention this to you, what with me and you getting married next month. I thought maybe the timing was a bit off. But then kicking the can down the road ain't gonna do anyone any favors either.
Huh? If there's something bugging you, then you should tell me.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry for dragging it out. I bet I sound crazy dramatic right about now. To be honest with you, it's pretty heavy.
To tell you the truth, I think my mom's been acting weird for a while now. I get the impression she's hiding something from me and my dad, so if you know anything, I'd like to hear it.
You do? I see.
Yep, and I'm not the only one. My dad's feeling pretty anxious over the way she's behaving too, so go on, tell me.
Your dad too? Huh. Damn. In that case, I really should tell you. All right, babe, I'll tell you. I'm serious, though. It's heavy. You might want to sit down for this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
The thing is, I think your mom might be having an affair.
What?
You know that big, flashy, extravagant hotel that looks like a castle I go past on my way to work?
Yeah, the one with a reputation for being seedy and attracting a less than respectable clientele?
Bingo. Well, the thing is, last night on my way home from work, I just so happened to see your mom going in there with one of my coworkers.
Whoa, what the heck? Hang on a sec. How old is your coworker?
Same age as me.
What? Oh my god, are you serious? I'm shocked enough that she's having an affair, but to think she's cheating on my dad with someone old enough to be her son? That's disgusting.
If she wasn't married, there wouldn't be an issue. I mean, it'd still be kind of weird, but if it made them happy, then who would we be to comment, right? Of course, she is married, though. And that's not all. Your dad isn't the only one being cheated on here. My coworker is married. With kids.
Oh my god, he's married too?
I'm sorry, babe. I know how shocking this is.
It's fine. I appreciate you telling me. Should I tell my dad about this? He might have some questions for you if I do.
That's fine. I don't mind.
Alright, got it. I'm sorry to trouble you like this. Knowing what my dad's like, I wouldn't be surprised if he hired a private investigator to gather evidence for him.
Got it. I'm happy to go along with whatever your dad decides he wants to do. I should probably tell my mom and dad about it too. They think you're amazing though, so don't worry. It won't make them opposed to the wedding or anything like that.
Okay, I'm sorry. And thank you, Chester. Mom, I didn't see you this morning and now you're not even at the church? Where the hell are you? Mom, how about you answer the frickin' phone? What do you want? My phone is blowing up because of you, you silly girl. Answer me. Where are you? At work, obviously. I'm always at work. Why even bother asking questions you already knew the answer to? You're at work today? Yes, I had to come in on my day off due to some trouble at the office. This has been decided since last week. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy at work, so quit bugging me. I might have to stay at the office again tonight, so if you don't hear from me again, that's why. So you're at work, are you? Yes. Now, if you understand, you can stop messaging me now. Mom, sorry to bug you while you're away having an affair, but today is my wedding day. Huh? Oh, you forgot, huh? Fine, I've heard enough now. This conversation is over. What the? No! Wait a second, dear. Wasn't your wedding supposed to be next week? No, next week's when we leave for the honeymoon. Wait, seriously? Don't bother showing up at the church today. I think you'd sorely regret it if you did.
You see, I'm currently in the process of apologizing to everybody, including our relatives and Chester's entire family, for your absence.
You're doing what now?
Rest assured, I'm telling everybody exactly why you're not here, because you're on vacation having an affair with your lover.
What the hell do you think you're playing at, you silly little girl? Do you have any idea how much damage you'll do to my reputation?
I'm just relieved that Chester's parents were kind and big-hearted enough to understand that your despicable behavior isn't a reflection on me and didn't change their minds on giving us their blessing for the wedding.
Stop, I'm on my way to the church.
The wedding will be over by the time you get here.
Huh? What do you mean?
It would take you 3 hours to drive out all this way. Even if you left right this instant, you still wouldn't come close to making it on time.
What? How the hell do you know that?
Because Dad hired a private investigator who found out which hotel you and your lover are staying at.
A private investigator? Has he lost his mind?
He already found out about how your lover is one of your clients from another company. In fact, we've known for a while now.
Oh my God, this can't be happening.
Whatever you do now, it's too little, too late, so you may as well give up. I'm sorry to spoil your cheater's vacation with Loverboy, Mom. I feel bad. You were so excited about it you forgot your own daughter's wedding. How about you just forget about this whole thing and enjoy your time away? Your lover is obviously far, far more important to you than me and Dad ever were.
Oh my God, Emily, please.
I still have some preparations to make for the wedding. Bye.
Emily, oh my God. Do you know where your dad went? I can't find him anywhere. He's not at the house.
What do you want?
I just canceled my vacation and came home, but all of your dad's things are gone and he's nowhere to be seen.
Wow, you only just noticed?
What do you mean, only just? How long has he been gone?
Dad started moving his things a week ago.
A week ago?
He left a set of signed divorce papers in a folder containing all the proof of your affair with me this morning. You'll find them on the living room table. Oh, and he obviously has separate copies of the evidence, so destroying it won't accomplish anything. Dad felt awful about asking me to deal with something so crappy on my wedding day, and to be honest, I felt awful about how awful he felt. That said, I felt I had an obligation to take them to the house. In my mind, it was my way of declaring the end of our relationship and making the mental preparations to remove you from my life.
Remove me from your life? What on earth are you talking about, Emily? Don't say such crazy things.
How is it crazy? This was obviously going to happen. How did you think I'd react to finding out my mom was having an affair with a guy twice her age? How did you think I'd react to you being so wrapped up in your affair that you'd forget your own daughter's wedding day? You disgust me.
Oh my God, what are you even saying? This is no way to speak to your mother.
You mean the same mother whose cheater's vacation was more important to her than my wedding? You betrayed me, Mom. Do you have any idea how I felt? Do you have any idea how Dad feels after you betrayed him by cheating on him with some pipsqueak office nerd half his age after he spent his entire life doing backbreaking manual labor to provide for you and this family?
That's,
Oh, and let's not forget your lover's wife. Do you have any idea how she feels? Do you have any idea how any of us feel? The answer is no, isn't it? Because you don't care.
What am I even supposed to say to that?
It's okay to admit you're a narcissistic manipulator who doesn't give a rat's ass about other people. We're cutting you out of our lives for good now anyway, so it's not like it makes any difference.
You're cutting me out of your lives?
Make no mistake, though, you will pay for what you did to us, you lying, cheating waste of space. You can't escape from the hellfire that's about to rain down on you, you despicable witch.
Pay?
Goodbye.
Emily, please. You have to tell your dad to withdraw this compensation claim. There's no way I can afford to pay all this. Has he lost his mind?
I already lost my job. My boss found out I was giving Chad preferential treatment on our business contracts to keep him happy so he wouldn't break up with me. In a certain sense, I'm the victim in all this. My asshole boyfriend's the one who's in the wrong for making sexual advances against me to get ahead at work. Hello? Are you looking at these messages? I can see the tick mark. Stop ignoring me. Emily, please, I'm begging you. Isn't there some way we can make all of this go away? I feel terrible about what I did. Simply terrible. Honestly, I don't know what came over me and made me act so stupidly. I'm begging you, won't you please talk to your father? Won't you make him see sense? He'll listen to you. Won't you tell him to forgive me, please? Oh, pretty please, with a cherry on top? Ugh, I'm begging you. You have to save our marriage, darling. Emily, why won't you answer my calls? Why are you ignoring my messages? Don't I at least deserve a reply? I'm your mother. I am the victim in all this, goddammit. You're my daughter. Surely you understand how none of this is my fault. Emily! I didn't have the energy to respond to any of my mom's crap, so I tried to pretend I blocked her. Unfortunately, she wasn't as tech illiterate as I'd hoped, and she realized I could see her messages when she saw the tick marks, meaning I had no choice but to actually block her before the notifications drove me insane. The next day, just to be safe, I got a new number. True to form as the most stubborn person I've ever known, she refused to agree to the divorce for a whole 6 months, constantly insisting that she, and not my dad, was the victim in all of this. Eventually, my mom's brother, my uncle, lost his patience and gave her a furious lecture said to be so loud it could be heard from 5 blocks away. And with that, she finally agreed to sign the divorce papers. To my surprise, she even paid my dad all of the compensation he asked for in one lump sum. Who knows, maybe she does have a conscience after all. I wouldn't bet on it, though. Newly single and afraid of being alone, my mom did try showing up at her ex-lover's place after finding out his wife had also divorced him. But unfortunately for my mom, he had found himself a new girlfriend during the 6 months she'd spent fighting the divorce. And it was at that moment that the grave reality that he'd been using her as a tool to advance his career truly sunk in. With that, consumed with jealous rage, she transformed into a feral beast and launched an attack on them as they went out for a meal at a restaurant one evening. I don't know the details, but I do know that the police were called and charges were filed. As for me, Chester, and my dad, all we can say is thank God we cut her out of our lives. Life's too short to keep toxic people like my ex-mom around. Here's to the future.